So, I think abortion is, here's what I think. This is what I think. Here's what I think. I think you should not get an abortion unless you need one. In which case, you better get one. I mean, seriously. If you need an abortion, you better get one. Don't fuck around. And hurry. That's not getting an abortion that you need is like not taking a shit. That's how bad that is. It's like not taking a shit. That's what I think. I think abortion is exactly like taking a shit. I think it is 100% the exact same thing as taking a shit. Or it isn't. Or it is or it isn't. It's either taking a shit or it's killing a baby. It's only one of those two things. It's no other things. So if you didn't like hearing that it's like taking a shit, you think it's killing a baby. That's the only other one you get to have. Which means you should be holding a sign in front of the place. People hate abortion protesters. They're so shrill and awful. They think babies are being murdered. What are they supposed to be like? I don't know, it's not cool. I don't want to be a dick about it, though. I don't want to ruin their day as they murder several babies all the time. I don't think it's killing a baby. I don't. I mean, it's a little bit killing a baby. It's a little bit. It's 100% killing a baby. It's totally killing a whole baby. But I think that women should be allowed to kill babies. That's what I think. They should be allowed to kill babies. Yeah. Woo! We get to kill babies! Do some shots and kill some babies. I killed like 4 babies last night. It was fucking retarded. I just think it has to be one or the other. You know, like when people say abortion should be legal, safe, and rare. Why rare if it should be legal? If it should be legal, it's shitting. If it should be rare, it's murdering babies. But again, women should be allowed. Because 2 reasons I think women should be allowed to kill babies. Number 1, I don't think life is that important. It's just not. It is not. People get too excited about life. Oh, life, fuck you. It's not that. It's. Make a list of every shitty thing ever that's in life. Life is okay. I like life. I like it. I don't need it. I'd be fine without it. I like life, though. I do. You know how much I like life? I have never killed myself. That's how much I like it. That's exactly how much I like it, with a razor-thin margin. I like it precisely enough to not kill myself. It's an option, though. It's totally an option. I mean, I'm 49. I have 2 kids. I've flipped through the brochure a few times. I've thought of killing myself just to win an argument. You're not supposed to talk about suicide. Even to your shrink. You ever go to a shrink and they're like, have you had thoughts of suicide? And you're like, no, because if I say yes, you'll press a button and folks will run in and hold them down. But you should be able to talk about it. The whole world is just made of people who didn't kill themselves today. That's who's here. Is all of us that went, okay, I'll fucking keep doing it. It's just, Because it's an interesting thing about life. Life can get very difficult, very sad, very upsetting, but you don't have to do it. You really don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything. You never have to do anything because you can kill yourself. If they send you a letter from motor vehicles, you have to come in and, no, I don't. I'll kill myself. You can do that. You can do that once. But you can do it. And it's interesting because even when life gets bad, people generally choose it over nothing. Even the worst versions of life, even a shitty, shitty life is worth living, apparently, because folks are living the fuck out of them. You ever seen somebody, you're like, how did he should kill himself. Why didn't he not? That dude. You ever been driving and you look in the next car and you're like, oh shit. I wish I hadn't looked in that car. That was difficult to glance at, let alone being it. Just a guy in a tan car. Nobody chooses tan. Nobody picks tan for their car. They give you tan. Is that mine? Yeah, it's yours, fucking loser. Made it tan. They shouldn't even make tan cars. It's mean to make them. You look over, you see a guy in a tan car with just dents all over it and a garbage bag for a window. What is holding up his suicide? What is delaying it? What is keeping him from stopping being that? And what would it take? What would it take? What would it take? Both windows are garbage bags? Is that? Seriously, do you know how much misery is involved in a garbage bag for a window? Do you know how many separate moments of shit misery? They canceled my insurance, broke my window, duct tape. Here's the truth. Running away will not solve your problems. That's totally true. But killing yourself solves all your problems. It actually does. It even solves world problems. For you. What about ISIS? Kill yourself. Then they'll never get you. Seriously, if everybody who's afraid of ISIS kills themselves right now, then ISIS loses. Because they live in a world of people that don't give a shit. We're gonna cut his head off. Okay. It's not fun now. I think the worst part of being beheaded the worst thing about being beheaded is that you look really dumb right after. That's the worst part. They go like that, you're like, just that's fucking dopey. I don't think they like beheading bald people because they can't do this thing. That's the best part. They gotta go like this. It's not as cool. So just shave the top of your head and you won't have to worry about it. So that's the first reason. That's the first reason I think women should be allowed to kill babies. Because life is not so important. Second reason is because that's their job. Women have to decide who lives and dies. That's because they're the female of the species. In the reproductive arena, that's what the female does. They are the selectors. They have to decide this. We give them this responsibility when we fuck them. We go, here, you decide what to do with this shit. See you later. And she has to figure out if you should have kids, if she should have, that's her job because women have judgment. They have judgment. Men don't have judgment. Men have intent. Men just want to spray the world with their cum, just mist. More of me! More of me! It's her job to go, that's enough of you, I think. No, that's really enough. I don't think that face needs to repeat. I've seen your father, and it's not getting better. And sometimes she doesn't realize this until after you fuck her. That's actually when she really knows, is when you're like, yeah! And she's like, I'm not having this piece of shit's baby. And that's why abortion is the last line of defense against shitty people in the species. So we need them to abort every shitty baby. I mean, all animals do this. Animals do it late. They have the baby, and then they're like, you know what? It's cold. I'm going to eat this one. But when is it okay? When should they be allowed? When it's in their pussy, that whole time. It's in her pussy. If there's a dude in your pussy, you get to kill him. I think that's pretty fundamental. You're allowed to kill people if they're in your house. So, that's what I think. I have 2 kids. I try to be a better person around my kids. I really do. I try to change my behavior around them. Like, I have rules in my house. They all apply to me. Like, I have a rule that I don't curse around my kids. It's a rule. It does happen. You know, sometimes you have a stressful moment and you're with your kids, so you say something by mistake. Like, one time I was making dinner for my kids, and I gave my daughter a bowl of soup, and I said, here's your fucking soup. But you can see how that was a tough situation. You're supposed to teach your kids right from wrong. I don't know, it's confusing, you know? Some people raise their kids religiously, and that kind of covers it. They kind of go, all this, do that. I'm not raising my kids religiously because I don't feel like it. Just get up on a Sunday. Fuck that. Fuck that. Let your souls rot, kids. I don't care. I'm not getting... Daddy, who's Jesus? None of your business. Go back to bed. But my kids, you know, they're living in the world, and there's a lot of religion in the world, so you do have to teach your kids, if you're not raising them religiously, you do have to teach them about religion, you know? I always tell my kids the same thing. I tell them that there are many religions in the world, and they're all equal, but the Christians are the main one. That's what I tell them. The Christians won. They're the winners, so act accordingly. Congratulate Christians when you meet them, because they won the world. And it's true. It's true. We love to tell ourselves, like, every religion is exactly... No, they're not. The Christians won everything a long time ago. If you don't believe me, let me ask you a question. What year is it? I mean, come on. What year is it according to the entire human race? And why? What year is it? Anybody, sir, just yell out the year. Thank you. 2016. No, it's 20. That's right. It's 2017. What is that? That's a number. It's not just any number. It must be a very important number, because we're counting to it in unison as a species. For thousands of years, we've been going 1, 2, 3. Come on, everybody. 4. And now, come on, Africa. 5, 6. What is this number? We're counting the days. Since what? Since there was ever people, or since the sun did a something? Not at all. It's been 2017 years since what? Anybody, yell it out. Yes, Christ! Christ! That's right. It's been 2017 years since Christ Jesus. We are counting the days since Jesus together. Which makes sense if you're Christian, but what the fuck are the rest of us doing? Jesus was here, Jesus was here, Jesus was here. Everybody, scientists, historians, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus plus 2, Jesus plus 3, Jesus plus 4. Jesus plus 2017 years, 4 months, and 3 days is when your license expires. How is that not a win for the Christians? How is that not a complete win? That's not a Monday off in October. That's there was no time before Jesus. And the whole world's like, okay, sure. And then somebody was like, what about the years before him? There were billions, infinity. Those go backwards. You want us to measure most of history backwards? To accommodate one religion? Uh-huh. All right, we'll do it. It's fine. We'll do it. The whole world. You ever watch New Year's Eve around the world? They always show you like how every country celebrates. It's kind of cool. There's one little island. It's the first place that's actually the place that it's the year. It's a little island in the Pacific. I don't forget what it's called, but the people, they do a little ceremony for New Year's Eve every year. And they just wear grass. Because they don't even have sticks yet. They're in the grass age. They have no clocks, but they do a dance. 2017. And it goes around the world. Oh, it's 2017. Death to all Christians in 2017. The Jews are quietly keeping track. It's really 5,766, but that's for us. We're just, that's okay. We're just keeping track for when you snap out of it. It's all right. I'll write yours on my check. I don't want a problem. What about Chinese New Year? Yeah, what about Chinese New Year? All right. Next time you're doing your taxes, just write monkey where the year goes. Just put monkey. See what happens to your funds. No, it's 2017, year of our Lord. Jesus-y a clock on the nose. And they made it up. That's the weirdest part, is they got to rename years that had already taken place. Because you know that's not what those years were. You know that, right? That the year 3 wasn't the year 3 during the year 3. Nobody was walking around back then. Hey, what year is it? It's 3. Yeah, but I'm 28. How can I be 28? There's only been 3. Oh, well, see, you were born in BC 24, and there's a 0. Remember it went backwards? Oh, shit, that was stressful. I hated those years. What was that like? What year is it? 10. What year is it now? 9. The fuck is gonna happen? So I don't know what to tell my kids. My kids are, they wanted a dog, so I got them a dog. I got them a dog this year, which was a mistake. I shouldn't have gotten the dog. Because we rescued a dog. We got we adopt. Yes, you must, yes, always rescue. If you get a dog, get a rescue dog. Don't get a puppy from those horrible people who professionally raise dogs carefully. No. You need to just get a mystery dog that's been beaten and abused and traumatized on the streets of Puerto Rico and can't talk about it to anyone now. They never know. Do you know anything about the dog? She's afraid of pennies. So we think maybe somebody's been throwing handfuls of pennies at her face. But otherwise, no. So you take this random dog and just put it in your house with your family and watch their personality unfold. This dog is insane. I'll walk into the kitchen and the dog's just standing there alone like this. Like, you all right? Are you all right? My kids are terrified of the dog. My daughter goes to pet the dog goes like this. She's like, should I pet her? I don't think you should ever pet our dog, honey. So I took her to the vet. I took the dog to the vet to ask her what to do, and the vet said, listen, I think there's something you should seriously consider. I was like, please be saying to kill this dog. Please be a doctor that says the dog dies now. But she didn't. She said, I think you should consider Prozac for the dog. I was like, really? She said, yeah, it works. Calms the dog right down. But it's a big decision and you should think about it. I said, put 4 in her asshole right now. What do I have to think about? I don't give a shit what she's experiencing. Fucking fix it. Give her heroin. Shoot her up. Come on, puppy. Wow, your dog is really chill. Yeah. It only costs $400 a day to keep her like that. I didn't always feel this way. I used to love animals. I used to worry about animals. Just animals. When I was like 20, are all the doggies okay everywhere? I certainly hope so. But I'm 49 and I got 2 kids now. You know what happens? Your circle of concern tightens. I have 4 nephews. I don't love any of them. Fuck a dog. You know those ads, like the PSA on television about abused animals? They show you a dog with like an empty socket and he's like, ooh. They're always wet. I feel like they hose them down before they film them. And the voice comes on, look at these dogs. These dogs are beaten every day. Please send us money so that this can stop. Are you beating up the dogs? How's my money fixing that? You ever seen that PSA where they show you a really sad man? He's very upset, very sad man. He's holding a little sign, and it says, "Yeah, sure." And he says, "This is the text that killed my daughter." Because somebody texted, "Yeah, sure," and ran over his kid, which is awful. Although maybe they were responding to a text that said, "Can you please kill that kid?" And so they just wrote back and did it. I'm not saying that makes it better. I'm just saying we don't have all the information. My kids and I were having breakfast the other day, and we're listening to NPR. We always listen to NPR because we're better than you. And so we're listening to NPR at breakfast the other morning, and there's this one story where they kept using this phrase. They kept saying 9/11 deniers. They kept saying that. 9/11 deniers. And my daughter was like, "What is that?" And I said, "Well, it's a group of people that think September 11th was a conspiracy." And she said, "Oh, I thought they were saying 9/11 deniers." Yeah, she thought they meant 9 people who just ain't buying this 11 bullshit. Just a small fringe group, really. There's only 9 of them. But they still got on NPR, they got on the radio because they're dedicated. They protest every day. They're the 9/11 deniers. They're outside of the White House. It goes 10, 12, 13. And me and my 8 friends know it. We are the 9/11 deniers. We know that 11 is a bullshit number propagated on the people by the man. Why do we have 11 when we have 13 and 14 and 15 and 16, 17, motherfucking 18 and 19, but we do not have a 1 team? What happened to 1 team? The government took 1 team and replaced it with some bullshit called 11. We are the 9 that deny that shit. Mr. President, give us back 1 team. I don't mean to offend any Chinese people with the stereotype, but... That's right, I'm Chinese, motherfuckers. I'm from Beijing. I lived in Shanghai. I'm Chineser than a motherfucker. I'm a chopsticks and whatnot. Ha! All right. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. Stereotypes are harmful. That's the truth. But the voices are funny. And I don't know how to reconcile those 2 facts. I enjoy doing the voices, but they're offensive. So I do them at home. I used to do them for my kids when they were little. They liked them. They didn't know it was a race thing. They just enjoyed, "Daddy, do the friendly man." "You want me to be the friendly man, little girl?" "We love the friendly man." "He loves little white girls too. Let's have some scrambled eggs." And then I grew up and I was like, don't talk about the friendly man. Maybe don't talk to your teachers about them. My kids go to public school in New York City, and all right, send your kids there then. No, it's good. Teach them that that's what life is like. The teachers amaze me because I don't know. This is the worst. Here's the worst thing about this country to me is that there's no more noble profession than to be a public school teacher. It's easily, please don't. You're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like where it's going. I don't recommend clapping at any things. You'll regret it at the end of the thing. In a democracy, there's no more noble contribution you can make than to teach in a public school. And in this country, the people that do that, they're fucking losers. They're just rock bottom fucking losers. And everybody knows it, but they keep doing it. New people are teaching every day, knowing how shitty it is. They show up, they tell them ahead of time, hi, what is this job? And they say, okay, here's what we need you to do. We need you to make children know math. Wow. Do they want to know math? No, they don't want to know it. You need to make them know it against their will while they're exploding sexually and beating the shit out of each other. Who are these children? Just whatever kids live near the building. How much do I get paid? About $10 every 4 years. What if I get really good at it? What happens? Nothing. Nothing happens. Nobody notices, and you get fired, and you die alone. Okay, I'll try it for 25 years. My daughter's learning about Greek mythology, and she was asking me questions about it. She was like, Daddy, who's Achilles' mother? I said, I don't fucking know. Don't ask me that shit. I don't know who Achilles' mother is. Don't yell it out if you know it, please. It's Camp Amputees. Nobody cares what you know. She had a question about Achilles, and it was an interesting question, and I'll tell it to you. But first, the story of Achilles, real quick. Achilles was a baby, he was a Greek baby. And he didn't stay that way, but when he was a Greek baby, his mother, who was a goddess, took him into the river Styx, which is at Hades, the land of the dead. And she dipped him in the water of the river Styx because there was a magical quality to that water that it would make you impervious of any harm. You couldn't be hurt. It was like a shield, right? So she dipped him in that water to protect him. But she held him by the heel. That's the important detail. Held him by the heel, which is an awkward way to hold a baby. By the heel. Try holding a baby by the heel and dipping it in a river. You will never see that baby again. That's how to get rid of a baby.
I lost the baby in the water. I was trying to wash him and he fell in the river. I'm sorry, Mr. Achilles, I lost your baby. You told me to hold him by the heel. He sleep.
Achilles' mother's a Mexican nanny. It's a lesser-known character in the Iliad. Anyway, his mother, she was able to hold on, of course, because she was a goddess. She was the goddess of grip or whatever, I don't know. And she held on, and then he was protected, except on his heel. His heel was not protected, and so that's what we call your Achilles heel, your one vulnerable place. Everybody's got their Achilles heel. Achilles' Achilles heel was his heel. Like literally. Anyway, so my daughter, here was her question. She said, how come his mother didn't just dip him again? She could have just dipped him one more time with the other leg in there. Did she just like, you're right there. Was there like a sign that says one dip per goddess? Did you ever color an Easter egg? It's not that complicated. You dip it, and then you hold it differently and dip it again. Smart kid. I was proud of her. But at the same time, I thought, who the fuck are you to judge this woman? It bothered me.
Because here's what the story of Achilles teaches me, is that if you're a parent, it's never enough what you do for these motherfuckers. It's just never enough. It's still gonna be your fault. How much more do you want from a mother? She dipped her kid in magic water and protected 99% of his body. Is any of it up to him? He could have just wore a big shoe and be careful. But he goes out in sandals, fucking flip-flops, and a sword and fights the whole planet. I'm Achilles because my mother dipped me. Finally, somebody got him in the heel, and he's like, Mom! Thanks a lot, Mom! What's wrong, Achilles? My mom didn't dip my heel. She's so stupid, she ruined it.
Fuck you, Achilles, you Greek dick.